And y'all, the rainbow, the LBGT community, they stole this symbol. So the enemy is he just trying to copy and use everything that God already has in place. This is not the LBGT community symbol. This is stolen. This is actually a reminder from God to humanity that he will never flood the earth again. Back when Noah had to build the ark, only 8 people were saved. Now they probably teaching y'all in a different way, but just hang in there with me. After the earth was flooded, Jesus made a promise. He made a covenant with the earth, with humanity, that he would never flood the earth again. So every time it rains, he throws this up in the air. He throws this up in the clouds. Why? Because he's just letting us know. And he's reminding himself, I know I said these folks now here still acting foolish, but I ain't going to do it no more because I made a promise with them back when Noah built the ark. And this is just a reminder that I'm not going to flood the earth, but I am coming back. Now that we got that out of the way, welcome back to my podcast. I am Promise Israel, and on here we talk about everything. But today we're talking about when your child comes out as being part of the LGBTQ community, how should you respond as a parent? All right, let's get started. I remember a time in my life where I was just like super lost, super negative. My heart posture was bad, my attitude was bad, how I looked at life was just bad. I was angry, and I know how shocking, emotional, and confusing it can be when your child comes out and says, I'm gay, I'm lesbian, I'm bisexual, I'm queer, I'm transgender. I know how it feels because I was once a child who said that to my parents, and I get it. Y'all are super shocked. My parents were super shocked. People that I told were super shocked. It's just a shocking piece of news. So I get how you really don't know what to do with the information, especially since you think you really know this person, then they hit you with this. You raise this person a certain way, then they hit you with this. You hadn't had this around this person, but then they hit you with this. I get it, parents. You're trying to figure out, what do you say? Should you hug them or should you correct them? A lot of y'all trying to figure out, how do you hold on to your faith and what you believe without losing your child? Today, I'm going to help you navigate that moment. As a former member of the LGBTQ community, I'm here to help y'all solve this problem. This conversation isn't just for parents. It's for pastors, aunties, uncles, and even friends who want to understand how to love while standing firm in their faith. Let's talk about the moment when your child says, Mom, Dad, I'm gay. I'm sure everything inside of you is going to want to scream. You might want to cry. Some of y'all might want to fix the problem right then and there. But the first response is critical, it's crucial, it's important. Your tone matters more than your theology in this moment. Listen, that first response is going to really make or break the trajectory of the conversation. So take a moment and breathe before you respond. I get that the news is shocking. I've been the person to have to say it. It's also shocking to just go ahead and conform to the idea of being gay, being homosexual, being whatever. That is also shocking for your kid. Your kid just made a really big decision, a bad decision at that. So you're not the only one that's shocked in this moment. It's not easy to look at your parents or look at your loved ones and give them this type of information. As the person who's receiving the information, don't make this moment about you. And I know that's hard. And I'm empathizing with you in this moment. Don't make it about you. Take a breath. Don't shut them down. Don't get preachy. And whatever you do, don't say it's just a phase. Those 3 things, don't even say it. And I'm telling you, those are the things that's going to come to your mind first. Die to all of that. Instead, try saying this. Thank you for being honest with me. You know what? I love you. I may not fully understand right now, but I'm here. I get it. All of y'all probably looking at the camera and probably saying, this girl don't know what she talking about. But I really do. When your kids come to you and they tell you exactly where they are in their life, the enemy is coming with them. And this is how the enemy, he causes the disruption and the dysfunction between the parent-child. Your response is either going to make or break the enemy. God is in the room as well, but you need to think about the characteristics of Jesus Christ when you're responding to some of this. Think about how he responded to a lot of the stuff when he actually walked the earth. He did not respond in a judgmental way. Instead, he had the ability to show agape love, all while still getting his point across. So Saying those things, I love you, I don't understand, but I'm here. Hey, thank you for being honest with me. This doesn't affirm the lifestyle. It means that you're keeping the door open for God to move in the relationship with love. Because if you respond any other way other than being kind and wanting that person to know, hey, this is an open line of communication, the enemy just disrupted the relationship. When your kids are coming to you, I know it might sound like they just made a decision and they did, but a lot of times they're coming to you because this is a cry for help, right? But they really don't know how to ask for help. They just know how to tell you where they are in their lives. So if you respond in a way that plays into what the enemy came there to do, which is what? Kill, steal, and destroy, then you just gave him the ammunition that he needs to keep your child in this lifestyle longer than your child is going to want to be there. Why? Because now you mess around and say the wrong thing. Now you got your child on the defense. I went right into, oh, I'm going to show you mode. I'm going to show you I'm going to still be successful while being gay. I'm going to show you I'm not going to need you in this lifestyle. I'm going to show you I'm going to still find love. You just get rebellious as a kid. You don't even really know what you're doing. But you just start to get offended, offensive. You're going to start viewing everything as judgment. And that's just what comes with the sickness. I'm not going to lie to you. So parents, that first response is everything. Take a deep breath and respond out of kindness without affirming the lifestyle. Don't say, I accept you the way you are. I never said that. The minute you say, I accept you the way you are, is no reason to change. All right, just to let y'all know that. Just keep in mind in Proverbs chapter 15, verse 1, it reads, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Keep in mind, big dog. Keep that in mind, parents. Listen, if you say you're a believer, right? If you've given your life to Christ and you say that you're a disciple of his, remember you are called to love like Christ. Jesus didn't affirm sin. He called people out of it. How? He did it through compassion and connection. You need both of those things, compassion and connection. Get yourself out of the situation. Don't start thinking, oh my God, what did I do wrong as a parent? Oh, I don't know why they acting like that. I don't know why they choosing that. Compassion and connection. It's just not about you. It's not about what you did right or wrong. Spirits need a place to live. And that spirit just inside your kid right now. But that doesn't mean that the spirit has to live in there forever, in them forever. What does love look like in this situation? Love listens, love shows up, love prays more than it preaches. Let's break it down. Love listens. Let your kid just talk. If you find yourself being the person that your child is coming to, and this is not just a parent thing, aunts, uncles, whoever this kid is confiding in, just be a listening post. Because when your kids start saying some of this foolish stuff out loud, uninterrupted, Jesus can start doing the correcting right then and there. But if they're talking and then you start talking and you start giving your opinion and you start saying this and you start saying that, then they'll never get through their thoughts. Sometimes people are talking and y'all going back and forth with talking and that person still has not got to the end of their thoughts. In situations like this, handle them delicately, handle them lightly. Just listen. And if they ask you for your advice, just make sure in this situation you have a relationship with God so that God can speak through you, so that God can use you as a vessel. Because it is going to come a time where you have to talk. You should talk. You need to say something. You need to respond. But as long as the Spirit of God is dwelling inside of you, you'll be able to allow yourself to be the vessel, right? So love listens. Just let them do this. I don't care if they sound crazy in the head. Just let them do it. Love shows up. What does this mean? Now listen, this is a tricky thing because kids don't understand that rejection is not always a bad thing. Kids don't understand that saying no is not always a bad thing. You're still dealing with children. So if you don't have any boundaries, or young adults, if you don't have any boundaries established to where this kid understands that no means no, and this kid understands that, hey, this is just not something that I'm into. I have to love you from a distance. Love does not mean showing up to a lot of these situations and affirming the action by being involved in it. If your kid is doing something that's very strange, you gotta let them see what that feel like by themselves. A lot of y'all are crippling your young adults, young adult kids, and your teenage kids. Y'all are crippling them because you don't want to hurt their feelings. But feelings are going to get hurt in this situation. This is not like you're on the battlefield. So you also have to be able to set boundaries as the person, as the parent, the auntie, the pastor, the therapist. You got to be able to set boundaries so that they can have a reason to not continue in this lifestyle. That doesn't look harsh or aggressive. It just looks like a firm no. Hey, no, but I understand that you want to do that. And hey, go ahead and do that. I'll still be here for you. You don't have to say, I'm going to be here when it don't work out. Or, well, just, hey, no. The answer is no. I'm saying that out of love. And who cares how they feel? A lot of this stuff you just have to, and a lot of this stuff you just got to, feelings are going to get hurt. You can't tiptoe around this situation. You're on the battlefield. This is a spiritual battle. And if you really care about that person, you got to be able to set some boundaries. You got to be able to say no to some of the stuff that they want you to do. You got to be able to say no to some of the places they want you to come to. Because let's be real now, this is still a contagious spirit. You're still operating in flesh every single day. So you could have someone, it could be your kid, it could be anyone in your close circle, and they're battling with this spirit and you are exposed to it and you have no boundaries with it. So you just saying yes to everything. Hey, I'll come and support you. Hey, I'll walk you down the aisle. Hey, I'll do. These folks are never going to have a reason to come out of this stuff. So love shows up, but love also has boundaries. Love is boundaries. Love prays more than it preaches. Stop doing a whole lot of talking. Pray about it. Just pray without ceasing. Be like a super duper interceder during this time. The spirit really be looking for a response. So if you as the parent don't really buy into what's going on, you're not saying a lot of y'all kids really do believe they're this way. Because when you're in darkness, you only see one way, and it's darkness. I know you might be smiling, you might feel happy on the outside, but on the inside, this is the type of spirit that is killing you internally and it starts to show outwardly. So you don't have to walk around and, oh, you this, oh, you that, and just kind of talking crazy. Just that's where they say they at right now. When I told my mama, hey, mama, this is what it is. She said, okay. She ain't, oh, you ain't that. Just like my dad. They did say some stuff after that during other times. But ultimately, it wasn't no, I'm not battling with you about where I am in my life right now. So there's no need to battle with it. You don't have to fight with this spirit. You just have to know how to handle it to a point where you just starve it out. It's only wanting attention. People in the homosexual, people in the gay community, people in general, everyone wants attention from something. Some want it more than others. Some go to deeper lengths more than others. But humans were made to vibe with one another. And when you feel so deep and so lost on the inside, you're just looking for a community that's going to make you feel like they accept you and they love you. So you can't really just deny what your kid said. Your kid said that. That's where they at right now. I didn't say accept it. Just don't be ignoring the truth. That's their truth right now. That doesn't mean that is the truth. That's just they tripping right now. Listen, y'all, this is deeper than identity. This is a spiritual battle. The culture is loud, convincing, and constantly planting seeds of confusion. But as a parent, a guardian, someone who is overseeing someone else, someone that's mentoring someone else, someone that's a follower of Christ, God has given you the spiritual authority over these situations. And to the parents, He's giving you spiritual authority over your children. That's why your prayer life and your posture with God really matters. Okay? If you don't have a relationship with God right now as a parent, go ahead and try to get you a relationship with God. Okay? Because you need it in order to even help your children understand that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light. I will war in prayer. You need to be saying that all the time. Say it every time you open up your eyes. I will not bow in fear, but I will war in prayer. Listen, your child needs you to pray, fast, declare scripture, and intercede. You need to keep doing this, even when it seems like nothing is changing. I was in homosexuality for years. And honestly, now that I'm looking back on it, it looked like I was really just continuing in it. That's what it looks like to the cardinal eye. You don't know how your prayers and interceding and just fasting for your kids on the behalf of your kids and people that you love, you don't know how it's working for your good, but you cannot stop. I had people praying and fasting for me. I know I did. Even with them not telling me that, I know it was people in my life that knew I was sick, lost, in the wilderness, all just messed up on the inside. And I'm sure we've all been there. And these people continued to pray for me. And when they finally started seeing a change, even a few of them told me, wow, I prayed for this. I knew this would happen. I prayed for this. So you better have some prayer warriors in your inner circle, because you never know who you're going to need to call on to help you pray on the behalf of your child. This is not this spirit. Once it get in you and get on you, man, I'm telling you, it ain't easy to just walk up out of. You feel so shameful, and then you feel guilty, and then at some point you just like, well, this is just who I am. And it's so much deeper than the surface. Y'all think it's just, this ain't no fun. This ain't no play spirit. The enemy dressing it up, and he's making it look fun to be doing all of this stuff with same sex and this and that. But it's your brain is so perverse. You're just living on a perverse. You're just living in a perverse situation. So people who are interceding and praying on behalf of others who are in seasons like this, man, this ain't no easy spirit to play with, but you have the authority. In Ephesians, it says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood. It's a spiritual thing. This ain't, that ain't even your kid no more, big dog. That ain't even your loved one no more, big dog. So you got to be equipped. You got to be equipped. And listen, like I said in the beginning, don't make this situation about you. This is their struggle, not your failure. No one is homosexual because of someone else. You are not the reason they chose that. Being homosexual is a choice. I don't care how the enemy has deceived the people to make the people think that they were born a certain way, to make people think that they have to just dwell in this type of spirit, but it's a choice. Every day you wake up to just conform to being homosexual, you're choosing that. So parents, I'm just telling you, don't beat yourself up over the head about it. And I know it's a lot of people who've been taken advantage of, and a lot of stuff can play a part in you getting to being exposed to the spirit, but ultimately it's a choice at the end of the day. And the trauma that you've experienced is not going to justify the choice that you made. Remember that. I know a lot of people, a lot of y'all have a lot of trauma. I have a lot of trauma. Your mama, everybody got trauma. Your trauma cannot be the reason that you choose to do something that you shouldn't do. That's totally unnatural. That could be anything. Don't disown your children. I know that they live in a different way. Don't disown them. The door needs to stay open so God can move, but you got to be able to have strong and firm boundaries in situations like this. Don't disown them, but you also got to make sure you're setting boundaries so that you are not conforming and affirming the lifestyle. What does that look like? It looks like you having a relationship with God and God working that relationship out the way he's going to work it out, because everybody's situation is different. He got to handle every situation in a different way. Why? Because we're all different people struggling with the same fleshly disease, sin. Don't compromise the word, but also don't weaponize the word. Okay? You can't use it when you get upset and you saying all this stuff, and that's weaponizing it. You get what I'm saying? Also, don't compromise. You know what it say in that book. You know what it's supposed to be. Okay? Allow God to also work through you and work with you on how to handle stressful situations like this. This is a stressful situation that you're in. Okay? And it's also not just stressful for you. It's also stressful for the person that's battling with this sickness. And just to go ahead and close it out, I know you might feel helpless, but you're not. God entrusted this child in this situation to you on purpose. God got a plan for all of this. Somebody got to be in alignment though, so the plan can work. All right. So your kid is battling, and you're also battling not to conform, not to just be blinded by the fact that that's your kid and you want that kid to feel good and you want that kid to feel love. You're battling. This is a spiritual battle. This is the enemy versus Jesus. Now, Jesus go always win at the end of the day, but y'all still got to think about it. This is a world that we're living in that is full of corruption. Satan, he around here, he's on a leash, but he's able to do certain things for a certain amount of time on earth. So stop acting like, just remember, your love matters, your voice matters, your prayers matter. Listen, just don't grow weary. Just keep showing up, keep praying, keep believing. I was in the season of homosexuality for quite some time, and I'm just letting you know, the people who are struggling with this sickness, and also the people who are just, you don't really know what to do. You don't know how to feel right now because someone that you love is battling with something. Just don't grow tired of praying. You have to also strengthen up. My mom is a praying woman. I had people that were even just close to me. They wasn't a part of the lifestyle, but they were praying for me. That's how I know God got a plan for all of this. So if someone is being attacked with a certain type of spirit, they got something on them, it's demonic. It got to be people that are spiritually strong. They have a vertical relationship with Jesus in order to help that person out of it. It takes a village. This is not, don't leave your kids out there struggling on this on their own. But a lot of times, and we'll talk about this in the next video or in a video in the future, y'all also got to realize sometimes you got to make a distance between this thing. Because when a person is committed to the sin and they're not open for help, you don't want to continue to cast your pearls among swine. That's a real thing, y'all. And you got to have discernment on when to keep your hand on the stove and to start slowly pulling your hand back off of the stove and feeling the heat from a distance. If you go get in the battlefield, if you go get in that fight with somebody, they got to want out. You can't be in the fight with somebody who don't want out, because they still have to choose to get out of that. You could pray until you blue in the face. But if someone has already just said, hey, this is who I am, I don't want no help, intercede from a distance. Still talk to God about it, but you can't subject yourself to things that are just, dang, they made their choice. All right, hey, I hope this video helped somebody. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow me on my other platforms. I love y'all, and hey, just don't stop praying. All right.
Took me a minute for me to get to know you, but I'm here, and now I'm ready.